Briefly want to speak on why you, as a trader, if this is happening to you, are not successful. So, there's several reasons behind this. I'm going to start off with the biggest one. You don't know shit. You are following other people blindly. You are just getting in their plays, whether this is Wealth Squad, whether this is Twitter, or whatever, right? You don't know anything, and you are blindly trusting random motherfuckers that you don't know. Now, that is never a good recipe for success. You're going to get fucked repeatedly because you don't know what you're doing. They could call a play that's actually good, and you see it later, and since you don't know what you're doing, you get in and it's way too late, and you lost your money, and you're wondering why everyone else made money, and you're SOL. So that's big reason number one. You don't know anything. You haven't taken the time to learn a strategy whatsoever. You need to figure out what kind of trader you want to be. Figure out your trader identity, whatever that is. So if that's trading just stocks, if that's trading stocks and options, if that's having extremely long-term plays and not day trading, if that's having plays that are kind of intermediate, you're playing maybe week to week, whatever kind of trader you're going to be, figure that out. Figure out what kind of mindset you like. Like, a lot of people literally only play stuff to the downside. They only play puts. They only short stuff. But that's because that's what they like to do, and that's the type of stuff that they figured out they're good at. Whatever it is, whatever kind of trader you want to be, figure that out first. Figure out that identity, and then you can start figuring out strategies or candle patterns or whatever it is to help you find those, those things that are about to happen to help you become a better trader. So figure out your identity first, then hone in a strategy to basically get that identity together, right? Another thing, you just started jumping in trading. You didn't take the time to learn that strategy first, or even like paper trading is extremely important, or mock trading, where you just simply write down where you would have got in, how much it would have cost, and where you would have got out, and how much that would have been as win or loss, what percent that is. That's it. You didn't take the time to really study. Just like anything else, trading, you need to study. You need to take the time to become good at it. You don't just wake up one day and start being a badass at trading, right? You don't just wake up one day, say, hey, I'm going to download a TD Ameritrade or Webull account, put some money in there, and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. That's not how things work. That's not how anything's ever going to work, okay? If you want to play the lottery, go do that, because that's not what this is. It's not the lottery. This takes some skill. This takes some dedication to learn some things. This takes some strategy. This is not just some random, I'm just going to make money because because everybody else is doing it. That's not how things work. So take the time to do all those things, right? And then another reason why you're not successful, more than likely, is you are a greedy son of a bitch. You are not consistent. You let a play go from positive to negative consistently. And I can give you an example of what I mean by this. So say you buy a call in something. We'll use QQQ for example. And immediately, by the time you exit out, and before you go and set your sell order in, which normally you would set it for 20% or 30% or whatever, my recommendation, 15-20%, you're about to go sell it, and you see, oh crap, it's only been 30 seconds, and I'm up 45%. I'm gonna hold this, I'm gonna hold this. I think it's gonna blast through. Well, lo and behold, 2 more minutes later, you're down 60%, right? Now you're sitting there wanting to cut your wrist because you don't know how you let something that was 45% plus up go to 60% down, right? Well, it's because you were greedy. It's because you weren't consistent. If you would have just went and immediately ignored what that was and just put your sell order in for limit 20%, guess what? It still would have sold at that 45%, right, that it currently was at. When as soon as you went back, it would have sold it at that, because that's the current limit price. And you would have made that 45%, and then watch it 2 minutes later dip 60%, and maybe even decided to jump back in and then make money on the way back up or something. But because you were greedy, and then you let your emotions get the better of you when you were down 60% and probably sold it there because you're like, God dang it, right? You don't even get the positive at all, like, and then it recovers 80%, right? And then you're like, well, what the hell? Well, it's because another reason, which I'm going to get to right after this, you didn't trust your strategy, you didn't trust your shit. Which is something I will say till the day I die: trust your shit. If you have a strategy in place, if you use certain indicators or whatever it is, and you get in something, trust it. Use your strategy to see when the next leg your way is going to be, and make sure you're averaging down up to that point. And then when you get there, you'll be basically whatever the current price is, or as close to it as you can get, and you'll watch your contract go up to it either slightly below where you barely lose, or even positive, and you get out and you get off that roller coaster. So, all these things together, trusting your shit, being greedy, not taking the time to learn a strategy, just blindly following somebody, these are all contributing to you being unsuccessful. Also, another thing is, once you start losing, like if you're on a roll losing, right? Sometimes the best thing to do is just take a step back, stop trading for a minute, and reevaluate your strategy, reevaluate what you're doing, because something's not working, right? You're just going to keep losing money, and then you're going to be in a hole or in debt or something, and you're gonna hate your life, and that's not what you want this to turn into. You want this to be something that encourages you and makes you more successful and is motivational to get out of your 9-to-5 job, right? So in order to do that, sometimes when you're in a rut, you just have to take a second, take a step back, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, 3 months, take a step back, reevaluate, readjust, get a different mindset, different strategy going, start learning from different people, whatever it is. Buy books, do whatever it is you need to do, get in that right headspace, and go on. Like, whether it's getting one-on-one time with the person that you're training with. So sometimes people will join a group and they're just not getting it at the time, right? Everyone else is winning, but they're just not getting it. Don't be afraid to reach out to that person and set up a one-on-one with them. You might have to pay a little bit for it for an hour of their time, but much better paying for an hour of their time than losing all your fucking money, right? These are just some tips that I recommend if you're in a hard place trading right now. Like, take a step back and actually, like, critically evaluate what you're doing and how you're trading, right? Because if you're just following somebody, you're dumb, really. I mean, like, if you're literally just following somebody, you're not following them to learn anything. You're just following their calls, and you're losing with their calls. I mean, what's the definition of insanity, right? So, you didn't take the time to learn a strategy. How do you plan to be successful, right? How are you going to be successful if you don't ever learn anything? You don't learn how to trade. How are you going to be successful? If you don't take the time to actually practice it in theory before you actually practice it too, like I talked about with the paper trading or mock trading, writing down, how can you expect to be successful, right? That's why when you're going in school and they give you math, right, they don't just give you the test. They give you a bunch of work and homework first, and then the test is the real deal. Right? The same thing. This is real life, right? So you learn the strategy, you learn the concept, you learn the whatever it is, the equation. You're learning the equation. Then you have to practice it. You have to actually implement it, but in a way that's practice. And then now you have your test. Now we see if you know what you're doing or not. right? The perks of this, though, is you take the test when you're ready, because you can paper trade and mock trade as long as you want. And also, another perk is, since my Discord group is extremely cheap with $15 a month, say it takes you 3 months to get comfortable, that's $45 you invested in your learning experience. That's nothing. Most people charge like thousands of dollars for courses and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, take advantage of this stuff, bro. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I'm literally basically giving this stuff away for as close to free as I possibly can. And instead of being grateful, right, like, I get a lot of people basically asking me what's the catch and if this is a scam or whatever, and it just blows my mind. Just blows my mind. But getting off topic right there. But I just briefly wanted to reach out and speak on why you might not be successful as a trader. As a matter of fact, I don't want to say why you might not be. That is why you are not successful. One of those reasons, or all of those reasons, or a group of those reasons is why you're not successful. Consistency it follows several different parts of trading. Consistently trading the same stocks, which means grabbing a handful of stocks that you like and only trading those, consistently taking your profits at a certain point and not being greedy, consistently trusting your strategy, right? And consistently trying to adapt if you notice that your strategy is not working anymore, right? Finding different things to adapt and always growing. You consistently do those things, you'll be successful. And don't just blindly follow people. That's not the way to do things. Unless they're actually teaching you a strategy, there's no reason you should be following somebody, especially on Twitter, if they're just doing call-outs and not giving you any actual meaningful content that makes you a better trader. Unfollow, block. There's no reason. I mean, honestly, they're not doing anything for you. They're really not. They're actually hindering you by giving you that stuff for free, to be honest with you. So, off my soapbox, just wanted to say these things to you guys. I know, it's easy to say, hard to practice, but I was in that same boat where I was unsuccessful, and I had to have a hard look at myself, and really adjust what I was doing, right? Because it wasn't working. And then once I finally came up with that strategy, once I finally became consistent, I haven't had to look back. I win 80, 90, 95% of the time. I don't lose. I mean, now I don't lose less than 5% or less. Now, over the course of the last year or so, I would say I'm about 80 to 95% accurate. But in the last 80 days, I literally have only lost maybe 5% of my plays overall. So, this is how I got to that point. Was not doing those things, and then doing the things that I recommended. So, I just want y'all to be successful. I just want y'all to be where you want to be in life. And this is a great way to do it. Trading stocks, trading options. It's a great way to earn a lot of money if you take the time to learn how to do it and really apply yourself. And don't get discouraged when you're having a hard time. Just take a step back and figure it out. So, yeah, have a great day. And reach out if you need me. I'm always here. Of course, I'm in my Discord group as well. Reach out. I'm here for you.